I'm not talking yet. What's up? Good morning. What's up, y'all? What's up? Merry Christmas, guys. Yeah. Happy holidays. Happy all the things. What up, Barb? Alright. Your market looking solid. VIX is still above triple B, overshooting pivots. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing too crazy. It's what events we had this morning. Jobless claims. PCE came out. Anything today? Oh, the Michigan numbers half hour. That can definitely be a catalyst. Known to be. All right. KQQ gapping up. SPY gapping up. This monthly maps in a second. All right. Bull long up at the open with resilience positive. It's open trade from here to here. 48.08. If I drop from 473.80 to 460, it's about an 8-point drop. Struck it long with add a little bit more than 8 points. Okay, so what I do on these little open plays is I long right at the open when you're above the box like that. Make sure resilience looks good. Yeah. Give it a second. Russell's trying to sell off. Buy's trying to move. Nasdaq trying to move. I like to trade right off of that. So let's see. Test the open. Definitely long setups, bull long ups. What am I gonna do? Check out VIX really quick. Yeah, VIX is good, clean, nothing bad, no signals. All right. What's up, everybody? Good morning. That's it. With a double down there. It's easy setups here. Keep an eye on res, make sure that this stays good. Right here is probably the best dip. Which is about 4 points off of the open. Obviously put a little bit. That's it. Okay. I'll do 5. I know I'm chasing. I know it sucks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add. I'm going to add. I'm going to add the whole way up. What's up? Hey, what's up, Tommy? Everything's just gonna push straight up, huh? Right up into... I'm like wanting to get a dip. I don't know if I'm gonna get one. We'll see. We'll see. There's yellow line at 48.17. Let me just hit it and 48.17. Extended ray. What are we gonna do? We are really close to a yellow line. That's what I don't like. Yeah, red's starting to find negative, so I just put a couple micros on there, nothing big. It's gonna be here, here. The 473. It's about. I can get maybe like 10 points drop to get a better trade there. Actually. Yeah, Russell's pushing pretty hard. Let's see what we got. S&P got a yellow line right here. That's the problem. That's the risky part. It's about 7 points still away. Res is still pretty decent. Nasdaq is hanging in there. Diverging a little tiny bit. Maybe overshooting pivots, so I might not come all the way down to there, but I'd be willing to play right here. As long as res stays good. So I only got in on 5, so I'll double right here. Right on the edge. Nasdaq's starting to pull back just a little bit, so... What do I want to do with this one? I still like it. I still think it's good. It's still fighting. This is 9, so I'm watching resilience be stay above 0. That's all I'm looking for right now. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go make some breakfast real quick. The question is, what happens when we get to the CL line? Like, that's where I'm when resistance goes. So I did get in a little late, but we'll see if we pass and keep going. All right, I'm back. Let me make some breakfast. All right. Hit that like button. Give it some love. Be gentle with it. Looking really solid right now. All things pushing up. Russell about to hit DD bam. And Russell went up quick. Just be cautious. There can be some pivoting action here when Russell hits this. The one that's closest. Watching VIX for sure. VIX gets up in here for whatever reason. It's gonna be a caution for us, right? Something away on SPY. Be quiet. I'm like trying to eat my breakfast real quick. I got till late start today. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Barb 4817 yellow line. You got that one? Okay, cool. Yep. So for this morning, where's the pullback? I know, right? No pullback. That's why I just got in on like 5. Like I didn't even get anything big. It bounced and I just kind of held here and I just jumped in. UXY, yeah. So be careful. I mean, just be careful because if VIX does accelerate a little bit up into here, then you'll have that light turn red. Like all these lights are green. This is golden setup again. Gotta love it. Golden setup. I just jumped in on it. Yeah, as good observation, Cruz. Yes, right. Something to take note of, and I'm glad that you said that because VIX is starting to climb a little tiny bit while the market is going up. So, you know, expecting some volatility and some dips going with this would be adequate. And also note that VIX is about to trigger the bull zone bottom roll, which means anytime you get to let's see. Even from below or above, anytime you get to a bounce point and moves higher, that's your caution. Remind me today, I should do a video of like why we use UVXY and SPY. I need to kind of make that in the video series. If somebody remembers today, just remind me of that later. Why we use ETFs as opposed to futures. That's a good topic for a video. I just thought of that. It's a real test. What's going to happen? Yo, is this the pullback? We'll see. I add to this 18 to 28 for 10 more points. The Michigan numbers come out in 3 minutes. on new home sales as well. We have some fun with it. Add a little bit more at the yellow. Gives me half to navigate in case we dip on a news event. I'll throw the rest in on a dip. Michigan consumer expectations come out. So it's historically not really that big of a mover, but the last couple of months it's been a big mover. I think it's because people are really making that decision: is the Fed going to actually cut rates or not? I think that's any news on consumer expectation, inflation expectation, things like that. It can be real sensitive right now because if the Fed is possible to take action and cut. Your mouse clicked somewhere randomly at DOM and sold the long. Oh yeah. So most DOMs, right? If you click inside of here, my mouse is right here. This will put a limit order. So like, watch. If I put here, it's a limit order. If I put I'm long, if I right click, it puts a stop order. Global markets. I told you guys, when it comes down to the market just finally being bullish, you're going to know it. And when we had that bear market for that longest time, people were like, why is it irrational every other day? Why is it red light every other day? I feel like I'm sitting out so much. And now you're kind of like golden setups every day. When the market's bullish and pretty and clean, it's fun and easier to trade, right? The name of this game is patience. That's why you stick with Rocket Scooter for years and years and years. We'll sift through the bullshit and noise. When you get those bear markets, you don't have to go in there and attack it and trade every single moment. I mean, it might have been a year worth of nonsense, but when you're back to being bullish, you got plenty of evidence not to doubt the bull market you see, right? So you're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna get months sometimes of just this clean, simple, trust your tools kind of environments. Confidence is high, all things pointing up kind of thing. It's great. Yeah. Gap and goes. It's hard to trust that. Okay, here we go. Get the news right now. What are we doing? Numbers came out. Let's just read them real quick. Watch out for this one. 5x inflation expectation 2.9 on 2.8. One year is at 3.1. No change. Consumer expectation, slight betterness. And the consumer sentiment, slight betterness. That's not terrible. The question is, what's going to have to see a line? Here's a pivot, right? Just switched on the hour. What are we going to get? Yeah, problem is even though VIX is in contango, VIX is still at 15, give or take, so not a lot of volatility. I mean, there's higher volatility than before, so you might get some V's, but hopefully we do get some kind of pullbacks inside here. That's why I'm waiting. I'm like, I put something here. I'll add to it a little further down. I'd love to get something down here. Solid still. These are all good. Index divergence a little tiny bit. The Nasdaq is pulling back below the S&P. Let's keep in mind that one is there. Let's double check that QQQ isn't hitting some kind of thing. Yeah, I mean it's relative, right? Bad-ish news. But overall, the 5-year inflation, which is the Fed's longer target, right? Where everybody's looking at what's the Fed's 2-year target? Still high in 5 years, 2.9. Still pretty high, but it's trending down. So the overall outlook is good for the soft landing for the longer period of time. As you're saying right here, this is the 1-year inflation. This is like more likely to drive the hand of the Fed. It's expected to still be trending down a little bit with these data blips. The trend is still lowering, which is decent. So this is kind of like trying to predict what the hand of the Fed's going to do. Consumer expectations. This is the better or worse kind of indicator, the eye doctor indicator. Coming out with a huge beat. and also a huge ramp up. So consumer expectations also slightly improving. There's your soft landing again. And these little tiny smaller changes. Consumer sentiment slightly better. Again, same thing. It's like hard to say because like higher than expected, yes. 0.1%, yes, you're right. It can be perceived two different ways. You're correct, Cruz, is because like you have the expectation, you miss the expectation, you beat the expectation can cause activity. But also the reality of the number relative to the rest of the data set also. And it's hard to predict what people are going to perceive on that. It looks like it was a non-event, right? We started here, we moved down, we ended up there, so it's no longer an event. We talk about events all the time. So whenever you return to where you start, it's really not a big deal and not an event. Let's have some fun with this one. A little bit more on the table. So we trade up, we trade down. It no longer matters. So we're back to like it didn't even happen. So I'm back in on the yellow break. Let's see how that one goes. Let's see if I'm right. Now I'm just keep an eye on all of the things here. Golden step, everything decent. DD good, looking great, looking great. QQQ, nothing in the way. Let's look at monthly map real quick. The eye doctor indicator. The surveys, is this better or worse? The survey's coming out pretty decent and clean, so I don't hate it. So interesting to see SPY start to create this kind of potential rift here, volatility increasing, like selling pressure. I think that might have to do with the VIX or the state of the VIX. As obviously the VIX is in contango, still trading higher. The spread on these options is getting really big. Like you have the general trend is down, but in the short term, look, this is very like bulls can like liquidate into the new year. So there's a potential liquidation, you know, coming up. Like could be like a couple weeks of selling, but you have to be just very careful. Bears are shorting, bulls are selling. So when that diverges and volatility is going to go up because that space between them is getting bigger. And as you see, that contango is built in trading higher. So volatility is expected to go. As a matter of fact, you look at the February. Is at 16.25. So February is even trading a little higher as well. H is also 1740. Yeah, so building up some future volatility going into the new year, and this is reflecting of the same thing. Let's go, baby. Take a small little trade here. VIX is clean. There's nothing in the way of this. It's looking really solid. I don't know what that is. The koi, you know. What is that? Never heard of it. Is that a video game or something? Is it a ticker? I don't know. Is it a what kind of company is that? Javerse is supposed to be something about a list, I think, where a list of CEOs have to show their positions or something. It's crypto. Oh, it's crypto. I know nothing about it. I don't follow crypto. Sorry. Oh, the list. Oh, I gotcha. Scared to say the name because I don't want the algorithm to pick up on it, but I know what you're talking about. So and so had a list releasing a bunch of names. I don't know if that's gonna. People are attributing the sell-off 2 days ago. This is gonna spook off of that. I don't know. Unless somebody was like, oh shit, I'm on that list. All right, guys, we need some cash to pay for legal fees. Dump your shares. Yeah, that can happen. I don't know. But I don't know if anybody big dump that much stuff. Who knows? Maybe the price is dropped anticipating that. I don't know. There were some speculations on Twitter about that list. I mean, it doesn't, it can't not happen. That would be a good mechanism for it. Alrighty, guys. Love y'all. Smash that like button, you guys. All right, I'm gonna just kind of chill. Hit the like button. It's like 37. Love y'all. Let's hear him play on my phone for a minute. If you're new here, welcome to the stream. If you're new here, appreciate you. Ever add to winning positions? Not usually. Like this one I did today, but that's just because I had another target to try to trade from. It could be. I mean, people can anticipate some selling, you know? I think that might be. What? One tool that Matt uses is delta divergence. What do you think about cumulative delta indicator? I'm not sure what the indicator is or what it's made of. What is it? I heard him say it all the time. I'm not familiar with it. Y'all have any like documents or something that say like I can review what the indicator is actually calculating? Well, I mean, but like what I mean is like physically, like what is, it's a tally of buyers versus sellers. But I mean, that's like marketing language, right? So how does it tally the buyers? What's it actually looking at? Summing these particular components. Like what are the math components of the indicator? But still, it's the same thing, Lee. What you keep saying is you're repeating semantic. That those sentences don't mean much to the analysis. So if y'all have anything that's like, oh, it says delta, it multiplies delta by this, looks at this option, looks at this price. That's what I want to see. Volume, like what are the inputs to the equation directly? Like how would it check if there's more buyers than sellers? Like the logic. That way I can know what it does. All right, I'm gonna do. Yeah, but that's still like, it still doesn't tell you what how the equation's calculated, right? Let me look it up. Just trying to describe what it does. Let's see. I don't trust the description. That's what I'm trying to say. People make up all kind of stuff to call it whatever. Delta equation. All right, let's find it. How cumulative volume delta works. This looks good enough. All right, let's see what this says. Calculating step by step. There we go. All right. All right. Tracking the volume traded on the ask side from the volume traded on the bid side for each price tick. The volume traded on the ask. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. You know what they do? Hold on. All right, here it is. Ready? Not a terrible idea. All right. So I'm just going to make up a number. This is 100 and this is 101. These are prices. So what it looks like that indicator does, that's pretty quick to figure out. Thanks for looking into it, Lee. All right. So the time in sales is a feed. And then say every time you hit a feed on the feed that says, you know, 50 shares at 101, then you know that that was buying to the ask. So you're going to have like two buckets, right? You're going to have ask and bid. So ask would gain 50. And all of a sudden you see 200 sold at 100. Now again, buyers and sellers is always a buyer and seller for every trade. But what it's saying is it looks like it's looking at the pressure of is the buying and selling hitting the bid or the ask. That's it. So it accumulates the amount of shares that are hitting the bid and ask. This is what I'm reading. It's not terrible, not a terrible indicator at all. It's pretty cool. Let's read this. Subtract the volume traded on the ask from the volume traded on the bid. Okay, so then they take the two buckets and they do bid minus ask, and all of a sudden you get a pressure reading that should be, if it's greater than 0, I'm just assuming because it's looking at the pressure between the two, anything greater than 0 means that you have more orders firing at the bid, less than 0 more orders firing at the ask. So it means raw selling pressure of market orders. Or raw buying pressure, raw market order pressure. You're either buying to the bid or buying the ask, subtract them too. Hello, you are new here. Hello. Awesome. Welcome to being here. Cumulative delta. That's what they said, yeah. Not volume with the regular price rise, cumulative delta buy, sell the volume per specific resolution. Have any fun plans for Christmas? I don't. I'm just gonna hang out with the fam. Honestly, I don't have any plans for Christmas. Those are fun plans though. Hanging out with the fam is always fun. From the order book, you know there's more buyers and sellers. You just look at certain price points and periods. Not a terrible indicator. Welcome to being new here. I'm also new here. But not a terrible, I like indicators like that because it gives you an actual piece of information that's useful. Like, what is it trying to tell you? It's trying to tell you the order pressure of just direct buying and selling. Now, does that give you any indication of price action? Absolutely not. Like, it's like every other indicator. Because if the dealers don't want to lower the price, they'll just keep stuffing the bid no matter what that delta says. But it can show you just the general overall. It's just another layer of confluence to a suite of indicators, I'd say. Like, by itself, I wouldn't use it for anything by itself. But it's like what we do, all the different things line up. It's a great piece of the overall puzzle. Like if market's dipping right here, and then all of a sudden that cumulative delta looks to be positive, there's still more orders hitting the ask than orders hitting the bid, even at a dip. Then it's like, okay, there's some confluence to buy the dip. There's other people buying market buys right here, or covering at the bottom. So does that make sense? So like the idea is that it's useful and like other tools. I wouldn't use it to say, oh, it's positive, let me long, it's negative, let me short. Because the dealers can very easily buffer price movement on that. But it will show you where that sentiment is tilted at any dip or any high. So I actually like the idea of an indicator like that. So Stavros says exactly how you use it. Oh, okay, cool. All right, awesome. So I guess it's like intuitively you guys come to that same conclusion I do. That's cool. Yeah, it seems to be a decent tool. I mean, Matt's a decent trader, so I mean, if he uses it, it's probably a good reason for it. He also uses Rocket Scooter too. So I actually never looked into it. I heard him say it all the time. I just when it's a delta, I thought it had to do with delta and options, but now I'm reading it's delta is in change. So it's using delta has nothing to do with the options. So delta is going lower, hence why you can see a small dip. It was basically Leah saying it's implying that you're seeing a lot of selling pressure to the bid, which as you see, it's resisting upward movement. So there's a good correlation there. I dig it. I dig it, guys. I like it. Very rarely I'll like an indicator. Y'all got me sold. I'm into it. That's how I found about Rockseer from Maddie's stream. Oh, cool. And Maddie's good peeps. I like him a lot. So as you see, there's a little resistance at this upward, you know, kind of this upward trajectory is like a little hindered. So you can see, so basically what you're looking for is for that delta to stop being so negative and start pushing up to show that the selling pressure has subsided. That would be a yeah, I appreciate it. Now you're pro plus number. Oh, awesome, Saber. Awesome. That'd be good. Dude, is it like, I mean, is it here? It's not native in there. I mean, you could easily create that. So you need to know what the bid and ask is and then keep a tally. So it's going to be volume, selling pressure at each per volume, or I wonder if you can do it also in every. I'm trying to think of a cool way to display it though. It would just be an oscillator, I'm presuming, right? Could you do a derivative of that to look at the rate of change of the delta just to really quickly see if that faucet turns off real quick? And you have it update every so many seconds. I'm just trying to think further. Alexander fell into Ashton. Oh, cool, guys. No, here's that little dip. Resiliences are still good. Market's still all right. That yellow hitting up some resistance here. I think, again, yellow is always something you have to be careful about. So, none of the... Now, VIX is climbing a little bit higher. And nobody has hit DD band yet. So, market's still stable. All green lights. So, oops, what did I do? Okay, I can already. Oh, we can make something like. Is it? Oh, before we make it, is it open art or does somebody own that? I'd hate to make something that is not an open art tool. Is that like is that indicator owned by anybody? Like. I think that's somebody's trademark or something. Like hedge pressure. If somebody makes hedge pressure, daddy gonna take him to court. But this isn't like someone else's proprietary thing, is it? Bookmap, does Bookmap own this, or is this a generic open art sort of thing? Okay. This Bookmap doesn't own this, does it? Do they? CDV on TradingView. Do we have CDV? Well, I don't know if you can consider indicators IP anyways. Can you? I guess you can. Calculation. Can you own a calculation? Can Einstein patent E equals mc squared? You'd love to see footprints on the platform? What do you mean footprints? Machine, is that you, Joel? I always forget what your YouTube name is. CDV is not really the same thing. Ah, okay. Okay, I remembered. CDV is not really the same thing. Oh, okay. What is the footprints? Oh. Oh, hey, by the way, Machine, send me a message. I gotta chat with you about marketplace stuff. I'll hit you up. You don't think it's good on TradingView? And we don't have it. It's weird because like normally, you know, TradingView we have like this suite of indicators that come native to the library, but it doesn't look like we got CDV. We could easily build it. It's not that hard. I don't like this yellow line rejection area right here. I don't like that we're not picking up any steam. Oh, so the actual candles are not just price. So did they use like a third dimension? Like this will be obviously price over time and values of price on the duration. Did they use like the width of the candle or something to show some kind of additional thing in the axis? How do you pack in the additional information? DOM visualize price end time. Oh, okay, cool. How do they display it? Is it like, or something like drawn inside the candle, or is the candle something drawn this way? You learn all these new ways to show data. It's exciting. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. I like that it's not selling off though. It's still stable. I do like what I see. Don't want to take some risk here. I mean, there really is nothing scary right now, other than it's rejecting. Good, good, good. All good, all good, all good. But you guys see how beautiful these lines are? I'll tell you, man, our calculations are solid. Like super solid. There's your volume spike at yellow line. See, I always tell you, all of our calculations predict volume. There's that right here. There's your big volume spike as you tap into it and decay out. Tap it a second time. See, there's waves of volume here. Lots of hedging taking place here. Illiquidity pivots off of the impact technique is really, really solid. Those are good videos to watch. You'll have to go watch them over the break if you haven't. All right, Lee, later. Later, Gator. Have a good Christmas. Probably chill for just a little bit longer, see what's going on here. So you get about 10 points to the upside on DD band if I run and take this one. I think Russell's pulled back enough that I think S&P is probably the first one that will interact with DD band. It's the one that's the closest. I think Nasdaq and S&P are probably very much a similar spot. Yeah, the S&P is probably going to be the first one to tap. When you look at all of them together, like relative to its own internal movement, it looks like the S&P is the closest one to DD. And maybe Russell is probably a par with it too. So Nasdaq's farther away. The S&P keeps going. That would be a pretty decent setup. So maybe we'll close the week out there. Looking forward to it. Everybody here trying to plan New Year's. How are we doing? Oh, trade's looking pretty good. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I'll be throwing kind of like a little New Year's bash this year. My parties tend to get out of control though. So I'm kind of looking forward to it, but not looking forward to it. My birthday had 150 people at it. I didn't even plan for it. My friends are so awesome, they paid for every bit of it. Surprised me. Some great stories. I invited like 25 people to dinner and that's it. Small. That was small for me, small. And we went to this place on CL, which is awesome, like a little restaurant lounge with like mermaid dancers and fire breathers and, you know, kind of real Vegas-y like in Houston. It's pretty cool. My buddy is like sitting there. He's like, yo, we got a surprise for you. And I was like, what? We got a surprise for you. I'm like, oh, what is he? He's like, well, I was like, go meet me outside in like an hour. I was all right. Go outside. Like guys are always turning out, you know, we're like, let's go to the next place. Everybody's like, where do you guys want to go? And then one of my friends is like, yeah, you know, let's go to this one club. I was like, okay, cool. So then me and my friend outside, he's like, Matt's gonna ride with me, and he walks me over where the valet was, and a brand new Ferrari pulls up. And I was like, is that my surprise? Is he, give me a new Ferrari? Is that my birthday present? He was like, oh no. He's like, oh, we're gonna ride in my new Ferrari now. We can take you somewhere. So, I was like, oh, is that mine? He's like, no. And he's like, I got a new car this morning. I was like, oh, what happened to your old one? Oh, I still got it. I wanted a different color. I was like, well, can I take this instead? Whatever else you got me, can I just have the car? That's my friend. So anyways, the surprise was they booked like this whole surprise party thing for me at this club, and they grabbed like the whole half of the club, like the whole back half was like us. There's like 4 tables in the corner by the DJ. And like when I got there was already like 50 people there, and it was like, happy birthday, go man. I was like, oh crap. And people just like started piling in, and friends started piling in. I didn't know the majority of the people at my own birthday party. People just invited people who invited people, and it was like a whole fun thing. So, and then like they refused to let me pay for a dime of it. It's like, oh well. I'm sure they dropped 10 G's on that party at minimum. Each of those tables is probably $25 minimum. I was like, dang, okay. I didn't think I had that that many people, but it was fun. So this year at New Year's, it's going to be like a whole event. And the great thing about like events like that, if you have a bunch of people that are going, everybody pitches in, you can do amazing things for super cheap. Enough people pitch in. I swear, people are always like, they tell me go out, they're like, dang, look at you guys, y'all are like chilling, you know, bottle service, all this. You know, everyone pitches in like a couple $100. It's more expensive to go to dinner than it is to get a table at a club these days. You take, you know, 10, 20 people at your table and you split a $3,000 tab. You each popping in $300. What's my dream car? An Aston Martin DB11. Probably my dream car. James Bond car. So my buddy, he has 3 Ferraris, by the way. That was his third. That was his third one. He's got a whole garage full of like cars. Just one of his things. It's just, I don't know what it is about it. It's just sexy looking. And now, like, it's always been my dream car. I don't know if it still is, but I always still say that because I love them so much. They're just so sexy looking. Like, especially the red ones. Look how hot that is, right? EXE. They're probably like high 100s. Maybe 200K, I would say. I don't know if I'd ever buy one. I'm still like super frugal. I have to buy cars. I have to buy cars and get a good deal. If I ever buy a car. I wonder what the price is. These things. Oh yeah, it's about 217. But I mean, it's like, you know, everybody is like on the Lambo, Ferrari, Bugatti kind of thing. You don't really see a lot of people, especially in Houston, rocking like a sexy, classy British car. And the black one was the one I wanted to get when I was originally contemplating getting one in 2020. I got the Maserati instead, which was significantly cheaper, about half the price. But like, still, like, the black one was what I was looking at. Look how sexy that is. The Vantage is also cooler, or cool looking. It's more sportier. I don't know if they still make the Vantage, but that's what it was called back then. The little sportier version, they look very similar. But it's definitely sportier. And slightly cheaper, but still expensive as fuck. And they come like decked out like race cars sometimes, super sporty. Like that's really nice. I think that's really sexy looking. Like that. Look at how sexy that is. I would do red and I would do black with like dark gray or black dipped rims. What does my friend do for a living? Well, he's part owner of that of both of those clubs that we were at. Most of my friends are investors in things in the restaurant industry or hospitality industry, or most of them started off as doctors, went out and made a fortune as doctors, and then still practice, but take all their money and invest it and make other money with their money. Usually doctors who own real estate and businesses and companies and private equity firms and all kind of stuff. Going to St. Louis to get trash in yours, bro. That sounds awesome. That sounds like a great time. Red is definitely sick. I know. Oh, 70s Challenger, dude. That would be hot. And a red one too. Like yeah. That'd be kind of cool. This is like the original, dude. The Challenge, like the original muscle cars. My brain still thinks about this, like the orange colors. Blue or purple or red. Would be your 3 colors. Dude, that'd be sick. Look at this purple one. Oh, hell yeah. That's fucking cool. I like that. I feel like I would see cars like that drive around Houston all the time. It looks very like, very cool. Very like the car shows and stuff. Purple color is it's really sexy. Yeah, really nice. Oh, what's going on, trade? Come on, get some movement here. I don't know. I'm a big fan of like sporty sedans or coupes that are like as functional as they are sporty. Is this gonna just sell off? Should I just dump it? What we got going on here? I was kind of liking that it was moving. This is a little odd. No VIX, no nothing. All right, if I don't get a snapback on this, I'm going to dump it. But there's a trick when you buy a car. I've always done this. You need to be smart when you purchase a car. Always buy and spend the extra time to do this. You'll cut your car payment in half if you do. Literally spend the time to do this. Take months if you need to do this. You'll love 5 years of your life. Will love the decision you made to be patient. Don't ever rush out and buy a car off the lot and like just buy it, the one at the showroom floor or whatever. Whatever car that you want, it's going to be somewhere and be a year old. It'll be somewhere. They call them demo cars. And the trick is you buy a demo car. A demo car is one that has a couple of miles on it. Like they drove it around for a little bit. Test drive, or the owner, you know, drives around a car for a month and picks another one, drives around for a month. It's considered pre-owned, but it's only got a couple hundred miles on it. You get a twofold gain out of that. Number one, especially if you buy Italian sports cars, which is typically all I ever do is buy Italian cars these days. They take like, you know, regular cars depreciate about 25%, like after the first, you know, moment you drive them off the lot. Within the first year, the value's nuked. Italian cars are going to lose 40–50% of their value in the first year. They depreciate, so they hold no value at all. They're the worst. So when you go that route, make sure you get a 1-year-old car, but not one that has 10–12,000 miles, like somebody actually bought it and drove it around for a year. One that has 300 or 400 miles on it, because the owner would take dates out from Tinder in a hot car for a month and switch to a new hot car. It might have some miles in the back seat, if you know what I'm saying, but that's basically it. And at the end of the day, you get a 1-year pre-owned, which has all that value taken off of it, and you don't have $12,000 or 12,000 miles for the year off of that blue book value as well. So you get like the best of both worlds. It's like a new car that already took that hit on depreciation. Dude, I got my Maserati for half price. You wait and you shop and you call around and you get them to call around and you look for used cars everywhere. Used luxury cars, not easy to find, but you can find them if you look. I've always had a sexy luxury car at all times in my life, even since I was younger. Because I look and shop. I'm a great deal finder, and that's what I live by that motto. 100%. This is what kind of car I have, but $120,000. Nobody will ever believe how much I paid for it. I need to go on Joe Rogan. Maryland Heights, good to see still represent RS. Nice. Don't buy a used Corvette for whatever reason. It's cheaper to buy a new one than a used one. Oh, it is? Didn't know that. So in 2020, I got a 2019 high-end, the highest end model, fully decked out, $120,000 car I got for $50K. $50K. You guys probably paid more money for like your car than I did for mine. But I shopped for months to find the perfect. Yeah, you have to, like, you're finding a needle in a haystack, but if you do it right. It had 600 miles on it. That's it. Your car payment's cut in half. Smart. You have to be smart. I do that with every big purchase I ever buy. If there's a trick, you should do it. You don't get rich by spending your money on stupid shit. What if I wanted a car that had 600 fewer miles on it and I have a double? Is that worth double the car payment? No, you're an idiot. Matt, don't do that. So it's hard to find, and you have to look really hard. And in COVID, it was even harder because there were no cars anywhere. So like I must have looked at the right time, the right day when that car showed up, because I was calling every week. I would circle back around to all the used luxury. So there's like used places, but luxury used places. And U-phone, I had to drive an hour to get it to, or Uber an hour to get it. So it's a trick. Always have done that. Dude, I got the last car I had before that. Here, let me show you. They have a picture of it somewhere. This kind of looks like my old car. I used to have a Panamera, a really nice one. They're 160, 170,000, fully like decked out. I got it for just under 100. Same deal. So I mean, you really go. These Italian cars lose so much value. Don't ever buy a new one. You're gonna get. Mine was white though, with white dipped rims. So it was like white on white, which is really cute, really sexy. Fucking great looking car. So cars, it's a trick. Always look. Now you have to look, and you might even have to go to other towns, but you're literally looking for that car that the owner drove around for a couple weeks, or a month. Porsche is good. It was a great car. It actually felt luxurious driving in it, but it also felt like a tank. Like I didn't like how heavy it felt when you drove. Like it had a lot of power in that engine, but the car was just so heavy. It didn't have a lot of pickup. It would go fast though. Once you floor it, it would go really fast. But like it doesn't zip for sure. It's not a race car. But it's just because it's so big. It's like a tank, literally. Why 911s never go down? It should. I think the used one should go down a little bit. How long do I keep my car before I sell them? I usually keep through like 3 to 5 years. I usually keep them until I pay them off. Usually, I don't like switching cars a lot. When I find something, I usually love it. So before I had this one, I had an Audi S. Well, I always forget the numbers. Audi S5, something like that. The same kind of, basically the same kind of car. There's little luxury sport coupes. Again, the same deal. It was like, just you gotta look for those right deals. Now, again, you're not gonna be like, this is the car. If you have an exact car you want, you're gonna have a hard time finding that exact car at that right time and finding the used version or whatever exactly the way you want it. But if you're open-minded and you have a type of car, you're like, okay. Because I was looking at like Maseratis, DB11s, Jaguars. I didn't find any used DB11s. That's what I was trying to go for. I was like, okay, let me get a used Aston Martin for, you know, maybe 100K, 110K instead of the 220. Let me get it for half price. And they didn't have any. Period. And I looked everywhere too. I even looked at Bentleys. I looked all over the place, and during COVID, you just couldn't find anything. But man, I don't like spending money on stuff. I'm very cheap. Well, frugal. I'm definitely a saver. This is trying to fight this yellow line. It's trying to fight. It's just having a hard time getting there. What's going on right now? Do I have a withdrawal rule for your trading accounts? A good rule of thumb is people do this. Anytime you double your trading account, take something out, at least what you doubled. So if you had 5,000, you turn it to 10, take 5 out and start back over. If you have 10, turn it to 20, take 10 out, start back over. The rule of thumb like that. Other than that, there's a really hard rule of thumb because your trading performance is going to be up and down week after week. So that's a rule a lot of people I know do. Double and then take out. This is watching paint dry, you guys. My friends they always love my car trick. Ever since even when I was in college and I worked at Domino's, that was one of my college jobs. I delivered pizzas in a supercharged Grand Prix at the time. It's expensive for me as a kid, but it was like, it literally looked just like the Panamera, just the Pontiac version of that. And it was a dope car, 4-door, supercharged twin turbo, or sorry, supercharged. It wasn't twin turbo, it was like a supercharged V6, I think. And here I am zipping around in like a snazzy race car, even as a kid. And again, same deal. My dad taught me how to do that, the find the deals thing. And he used to be good negotiating. We would go in there right before they sign the paperwork, and he'd be like, I want those custom floor mats, the luxury ones with the name on it. Throw them in. The guy would be like, no, we don't. He's like, throw it in and we'll walk. And then like, okay. He would get like the keychain or whatever from the dealer. Like right at the end of the day. One time at the Porsche dealership, I took the mouse pad off the guy's desk that said Porsche on it. I think I still have it somewhere. I was like, can I have your mouse pad? He's like, oh, I was like, yeah. He's like, does anything else you guys want? Or anything else you want on the car? I was like, oh, yeah. Let me give me that mouse pad right there. I literally took his mouse pad. Just like the art of negotiating. Struggling as US dollars, struggling to rally above the point of control. Yeah. I really don't like that it's consolidating below the yellow right now. They're finding some mysterious support right here off of I don't know what. Whatever here is bumping this, hanging. It's getting boring. I mean, it's just gonna, like, any moment now, there's just gonna be a candle that just goes one direction or not. What direction is that gonna be? That's my thought. It's trying to just, there's a lot of cover, like it's holding this area. Like it just makes you feel like it's just gonna want to dip out. Everything's still looking solid. Now it's like it's starting to pick up a little momentum. Boring golden setup day. I know, like I'm just like liking it, holding on to it. Alright, you guys. Alright. We should call it a day. On the stream at least. Shoot, what did I forget to do here? Oh, cool. Okay. All right, it's time to go. It's 11 o'clock. We'll call it. I'll fill you guys in with whatever happens at the end of the day. I'm just gonna hang on to it. I'm not really worried about it. I want the big R&R to get to green line before we go into the Christmas holiday. Might as well just call it. All right, we'll see y'all later. I'll drop out of my trade if we break hedge pressure, but I'd like to long into it a little harder. Yeah, well, I feel like, yeah, I agree with you. It's just kind of one of those days where it's like, yeah. All right, we'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Hop in the Discord. We'll check out with y'all. At 4 o'clock, have a little Zoom session, and then we'll see y'all later.